Bonjour, bienvenue les élèves. J'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on va apprendre quelque chose de très important. As I have told you before, now onwards we are going to use more French words than English in the class because you are at an advanced stage. Today we are going to learn something very important, and that particular thing is called les impératifs. Les impératifs is a form of a verb by which you give orders, advice or instructions. If you remember in the previous lesson, we used the words like imaginons, let's imagine, regardez, look at or look out. So, whenever you give any instruction, any order or any advice, there is a special form of verb that we use. It's called imperative. In imperative, we have only three options: tu, vous and nous. Tu, vous and nous, and in this form neither tu, vous or nous is written. For example, if you want to say look out, if you want to say look out to a person whom you usually talk as tu, it will be regarde, but the spelling of regarde will be R-O-G-A-R-D-E. Usually, when we conjugate a verb, tu regardes, we write T-U-R-O-G-A-R-D-E-S. But when you say in imperative regarde, neither you add tu nor you add s at the end of it. When it comes to vous, vous regardez. But when you want to give an advice, order or instruction, you say regardez. So vous you don't say. Equally, nous regardons. In imperative, we just say regardons. Regardons can be translated in English as let's look out. So, coming back to the imperative, when do you use imperative? When you want to say to somebody that do this, you use an order, so you say fais-le, means do this. When you want to give an instruction, similarly you use imperative, and when you want to give an advice. So, let's find out 2 or 3 verbs now on which we are going to use imperative. Speak out, parle, means tu parles, parle. So, tu parles as imperative becomes parle. Vous parlez, what will be the imperative of vous parlez? It will be parler. And nous parlons, what will be the imperative? Imperative will be parlons. So, now onwards, whenever we see regardez, parler, buvez, manger, these are the words without any subject or pronoun. Regardez, we are not saying vous. Remember, this is a very important part because in French we use imperative very often. And in this particular lesson, we are also going to learn a few things regarding the prepositions that we have done in the previous classes. Allons au cinéma. Allons au cinéma. Allons au cinéma is let's go to the cinema. So now here again, allons comes from the verb aller, A-L-L-O-R, And in aller, je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. That is the present tense. Je vais means I go or I am going. As you know, in French, the present tense and present continuous tense is the same. So, je vais means I am going or I go. Tu vas means you are going or you go. Il va means he goes or he is going. Elle va means she goes or she is going. Nous allons means we are going or we go. Vous allez means you go or you are going in plural form, or it is formal. As you know that in French we have tu and vous, two separate use. Like tu is normally for your friends, for your family and people who are familiar to you, rather an informal way of saying you. So, and vous is used for formal relationships, like you go to your office and you talk to your boss, you normally address them as vous if it is a very formal relation, or anybody on the street you want to talk to, whom you want to refer to as you will be vous. So, coming back to aller. So, vous allez means you are going or you go. That you is either a formal relationship or a plural you, means plural number of people in front of you whom you want to address as you. So, nous allons means we are going or we go. Ils vont means they go or they are going. Elles vont means they go or they are going. So, now coming back to our initial word that we said, allons au cinéma. Allons au cinéma means let's go to the cinema. So, now you have seen perhaps we always add a preposition in front of a place and a noun when we use certain verbs, like aller à la pharmacie. Pharmacy means the medicine shop. Aller au cinéma means go to the cinema. Aller à l'école means to go to the school. Aller à l'université means to go to the university. Similarly, we always add a preposition plus the article. So, in the previous class we have seen when it is a followed by a noun that is masculine, such as cinema, restaurant, restaurant, we normally put le cinéma or le restaurant. So, a plus le restaurant becomes au restaurant. A plus le cinéma becomes au cinéma. When a word starts with A, E, I, O, U, in French A, E, I, O, U, then A plus L apostrophe comes and it does not become O or ala. For example, school, école. Les enfants vont à l'école. The children are going to the school. À l'école, it becomes A apostrophe, A accent grave, plus L apostrophe. À l'école. À l'université. A accent grave, L apostrophe, université. And in case of la, we have words like la banque, la pharmacie, la boulangerie, la gare. La pharmacie means the medicine shop, la banque means the bank, la boulangerie means the bakery, and la gare means the station. So, when you are saying that Raman va à la gare, Raman is going to the station. In that case, a and la, they remain as it is, a accent grave, plus loin la, à la gare. Paul va à la pharmacie. Paul is going to the medicine shop, la pharmacie. Mes parents vont à la boulangerie. My parents are going to the bakery. Similarly, when it comes to some plural words, it becomes a plus les becomes o, a-u-x. So this is something which is very important we have to remember. But in the previous classes, we have also learned some other prepositions such as devant, derrière, en face de, à côté de. So when we were giving directions, if you remember, we were using these words. For example, où est la pharmacie? Where is the medicine shop? Elle est au coin de la rue. It's at the corner of the road. Le cinéma est devant le parc. The cinema hall is in front of the park. Raman s'assoit devant moi. Raman is sitting in front of me. Therefore, Raman est en face de moi. Raman is in front of me. So, devant is in front of and derrière means at the back. Où est la bibliothèque? Où est la bibliothèque? Where is the library? La bibliothèque est derrière le bâtiment 5. The library is at the back of building number 5. So, slowly we are learning how to situate ourselves in a space. And that is exactly is called this lesson, Agir dans l'espace. Agir dans l'espace. How to locate yourself in a space. In this particular lesson, when we are learning how to locate yourself, we give directions. For example, you want to go to the boulangerie or you want to go to the school. Then how do you talk to people? How do you give them directions? Remember, when we were talking about l'impératif, we said we use it for 3 different things. One is when you give order, when you give advice, or when you give instructions. So, giving direction is an instruction. So, you can say to somebody, allez tout droit, allez tout droit, tournez à droite, tournez à droite, tournez à gauche, tournez à gauche, traversez la rue, traversez la rue. I hope that you all remember these are the words which we have used in our previous classes. Tourner à droite means turn right, tourner à gauche means turn left. Traverser means to cross. Traverser la rue means to cross the street. And similarly, in a city, I must also tell you that when we are giving all these instructions, we are primarily using the cityscape, the things that we find in a city. In city, you have allée. Une allée means a small lane. La rue means the street. Le boulevard means the boulevard. L'avenue means the avenue. So, it is according to the size. We have different names for the streets. Une allée, une rue, un boulevard, une avenue. So, when you want to say go straight on the boulevard and you will find yourself in front of l'Arc de Triomphe. For example, one of the main and major famous boulevard in Paris is Champs-Élysées. So, when you walk on the Champs-Élysées and you reach in front of l'Arc de Triomphe, how do you say it in French? Vous marchez sur les Champs-Élysées et vous êtes devant l'Arc de Triomphe. Remember one thing again, in French, unlike in English, we use articles and definite articles for most of the things. For example, marcher sur les Champs-Élysées. So, Champs-Élysées is name of the street, but we use les Champs-Élysées. So, devant vous is in front of you. So, devant vous, l'Arc de Triomphe. Now, coming to the second part of it, let's try to imagine a situation where we are trying to look for India Gate in Delhi and we are at Connaught Place. So, now we are going to have a conversation with a passerby in French. Excusez-moi, monsieur. Bonjour. Bonjour. Où est la India Gate? Où est la India Gate? Where is India Gate? And again, I told you, in English we don't use any article in front of India Gate, but when it comes to French, we are using la because gate in French is feminine, la porte. So, où est la India Gate? Monsieur, ce n'est pas très loin. Ce n'est pas très loin. It's not very far. Moi, est-ce que c'est très près d'ici? Est-ce que c'est très près d'ici? I asked, is it very close by? Monsieur, non, c'est à 2 ou 3 kilomètres. C'est à 2 ou 3 kilomètres. It's 2 or 3 kilometers from here. We are at Connaught Place. So, comment je peux aller à la India Gate? Remember one thing, we can also call it L apostrophe l'India Gate, but I am just saying La India Gate on purpose, so you remember that whenever you add an article, a definite article in front of a word, even if it's in English, you go by the gender of the original word. So, le monsieur dit, the gentleman says, vous marchez tout droit sur Sunset Marg. So, vous marchez tout droit sur le Sunset Marg. Sunset Marg is a street in Delhi. So, you walk straight on Sunset Marg. Vous êtes à côté du Parlement. You are on the side of the Parliament. À côté du Parlement, on the side of the Parliament. Vous tournez à gauche. Vous tournez à gauche. Vous êtes sur Ashoka Road. Vous êtes sur Ashoka Road. So, vous tournez à gauche means you turn to the left, you are on Ashoka Road. Et vous continuez tout droit. You continue straight. L'India Gate est à votre droite après 1 kilomètre. After 1 kilometer, India Gate will be on your right. So, slowly we are knowing how to call different places in a city, and we are also learning how to give directions. Directions in French can be called direction, but it's better to call orienter. Comment orienter vers un endroit? How to give direction towards a place. So, we have learned how to reach to a place in a city. Today, we are also going to learn a new expression. Qu'est-ce qu'on achète? Qu'est-ce qu'on achète dans une pharmacie? Qu'est-ce qu'on achète dans une banque? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait dans un stade? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Qu'est-ce qu'on means what do you? So, what do you find at the medicine shop? What do you do in a stadium? What do you buy? Qu'est-ce qu'on vous achetez dans une boulangerie? So, qu'est-ce qu'on is a very useful expression to form questions. So, qu'est-ce qu'on achète à la pharmacie? What do you buy in a pharmacy? On achète les médicaments. Qu'est-ce qu'on achète dans une boulangerie? What do you buy in a baker's shop? On achète les baguettes. You remember, we have learned this word before. Les baguettes means the French loaf. Now, Qu'est-ce qu'on achète à la poste? What do you buy in a post office? On achète les timbres, une timbre, T-I-M-B-R-E. Une timbre means a stamp. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait dans un stade? What do you do in a stadium? We can either play or we can watch. On regarde les matchs. We see or we watch matches. Ou on joue dans un stade or we play in a stadium. So, qu'est-ce qu'on achète? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? These are new expressions and you know how to answer. In the previous lesson, we have also learned another expression to ask question. Pourquoi? Pourquoi means why and the answer is parce que. Pourquoi tu portes une parapluie? Pourquoi tu portes une parapluie? You know parapluie. Parapluie is an umbrella. So, why are you carrying an umbrella? Pourquoi tu portes une parapluie? Parce que il pleut. Parce que il pleut means because it's raining. So, with this, we are slowly coming to the concluding part of this lesson. I would like you to go for a little bit of work in regard to Paris as a city. If you can find out, I will ask you this question now in French. Trouvez les sites touristiques de Paris. Trouvez les sites touristiques de Paris. Find out the tourist spots in Paris. I'm just giving you one or two examples. La Tour Eiffel, Eiffel Tower, l'Arc de Triomphe, le Panthéon, the Pantheon, l'église Notre-Dame, Notre Dame Church, and also Les Montmartre, Sacred Heart Church at Montmartre. These are few examples I am giving, but do a search on them and try to write how to reach there from the nearest metro station. Till we meet next, bonne continuation, bon courage, à la prochaine, au revoir.